I feel honored to have a chance to speak on the global conference of Claiming Our Stories, Raising Our Voices. I have so much respect for every single one of you ladies from all over the world. Many of you have inspired me and made me proud to be a woman in journalism. As a journalist, speaking truth to power, raising our voices in 2021 is so important at a time like now because of the great challenges we've been facing. What if you are a female journalist exposing the crimes of an authoritarian state as China? You will definitely pay an incredible price. You face anonymous threats, and your family members in the hands of this state are taken hostage or force you to give in. After I reporting on China's mass detention on Uyghur in Xinjiang, I lost contact with my all family members in the region, my homeland. Chinese government arrest and put in the concentration camp over 20 of my relatives in February 2018. My daily lives are riddled with distress, fear, and worry for my families and friends. It's hard to bear. My family is suffering just for what I am doing. But I need to continue I am because RFA is only voice for the Uyghur people. Until this day, millions of Uyghurs are still arbitrarily detained by the Chinese government, which has been systematically persecuting Uyghurs and others simply based on their ethnicity and the religion. As the only international Uyghur language broadcast, RFA has been focusing on the RFA has been focusing on the atrocity taking place in the Uyghur region, documenting the Chinese Communist Party's human rights abuses. With so much going on in the Uyghur region, I want to specifically talk about Uyghur women. The Chinese government has literally taken control of Uyghur women's body, soul, family, children, and now even their hair is commercialized. Since 2017, millions of Uyghur women have been sent to concentration camps where they face torture, rape, and death. Millions of Uyghur women are subject to forced labor, forced sterilization, and the Uyghur girls are being forced to marry Han Chinese men. One of the most horrific action against Uyghur women is they forced separation from their kids. Physical trauma is nothing compared to the psychological trauma intentionally inflicted on mothers who have no idea where their children are and whether they are given to others as orphans or even alive. Just try to imagine these millions of women whose husbands, fathers, and brothers were all sent away to the camps. Imagine their children that were ripped apart from them. I am asking you, the very least you can do is never forget. I am asking you, the very least you can do is to never forget. It has been extremely difficult covering the situation facing the Uyghurs because it's vast and complex story that's always changing. First, this is one of the biggest crises, but it is happening in one of the most restricted media environments where it is extremely hard to get news out of. Since 2017, 3 million of Uyghurs are now put in the concentration camps. It is happening right in front of the eyes of the world. What is choosing not to look, or one that speaks up but does not act with the faith to stop it. Our existence is in dire situation. We need to fight against this evil menace together. My experience in the US as a journalist taught me that in order to be a journalist, it needs courage and encourage others to speak up. This is not only my story, it is also the story of a lot of female journalists like me who made a huge contribution to the journalism. I admire them for their brave, sharp, and the resilient. You are everyday heroes. Thank you. The hope. Only thing we Uyghurs left is hope. I am the lucky one because I'm in free country. I can freely speak up, even act. So I think what we are doing is not the job, it's not the journalists should do. Not only that, being a human, when you're watching those atrocities, we cannot keep silence. Silence is sign of death. So we need to raise our voices. I strongly believe voice is matter. Voice matter. What does it mean to be a female journalist? I used to think that if you have a good writing and impressive speech skills, then you can be a successful journalist. Later on, I thought that these requirements are far from being enough. As long as you live in an authoritarian state with no freedom of speech, for in such a state, you are only forced to write and speak for it. Then I came to US and became a journalist at the Radio Free Asia for more than a decade. My experience in the US as a journalist taught me that in order to be a journalist, you don't need to be a good speaker, but a good listener. And not a good thinker, but a good guide to encourage others to speak up. What they feel, what they think, and what they hope for. Thank you all to listening my stories. In the end, I wishing you all the best. Thank you so much.